chug some beers and make some bad gambling picks. Welcome to ChuggieBets.
I'm almost 40. I don't remember things. Let's fucking roll. Let's do this.
We already started out.
Oh. I can't see. It's froze again. Oh, 3? Okay, sorry, go.
3, 2, 1. Just leave that all in. 3, 2, 1. So I don't know how it is around your house, but Christmas tasks have very clear roles. And look, it's the 21st century. It's 2023. There should be no more gender roles for this. I don't need to be risking myself to make our house look beautiful on the outside, right? Danny, I don't know if you had thoughts on this.
Oh, yeah. So Missy and I definitely have different, basically all our chores are I do the shit outside and she does the shit inside. And usually there's way more shit to do inside. So that's, the fact that Christmas decorations, I have to do like the climbing on the ladder and risking my life on my 9-foot, awning. It's only like 3 feet above my head and I have to go 2 feet on a ladder, but still I'm risking my life to get my Christmas decorations hung. And she's inside, like setting up a couple of stuffed animals. And then we do the tree kind of together.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know if you decorated the tree together. I'm like,
the kids, we try and do the kid. My job decorating the tree now is picking up small children and getting them towards the thing and holding them there for a long time until they can figure out how to get it on a branch.
Trap game is strong.
Do you do the entire tree with the whole family, or do you like get it set up, add some like lights, and then bring the kids in like for ornaments?
Kids are just there for ornaments. Missy does the setup of the tree, and actually our automatic, we have a fake tree, so our automatic lights are broken, and she actually strings lights on it too. So I'm actually probably discounting a lot of what she does.
Yeah.
Can we figure out a better way?
Shocking.
Can we figure out a better way to get our children to put ornaments on trees? Maybe mine are especially bad at it. Or maybe, I'm assuming this is all children, but they put it at the very end of the branch and they put them all like in one spot right next to each other. I'm like, I wish I could like put some ramps up or something so they could be putting them all over the place. I don't know.
They basically put ornaments on trees the same way they play match game. They flip the same card over every single time.
Oh, that drives me crazy.
Then they look for another one. It's like, I know you know that's Woody. Why don't you look for another one? And then if you find Woody,
you don't understand. It makes more sense. Yeah. Yes. Match game. Oh no, for Christmas decorations. So yeah, typically I'll do like the lights, and then Christine will put up like all the cute shit that like men don't even think about, but it just shows up, and you're like, oh, like now my house looks like Christmas. Except this year, Christine always wants to do like a ton of stuff at the holidays because we got to be making memories for the kids like every day. So she got like excited, went out to hang up lights while it was raining out, and I was like, you shouldn't, maybe. And then she was like, get out of here. And I grabbed the light and I was like, all right, fine, do your thing. And then the lights got like AA battery electrocuted.
Licking the 9-volt.
Licking the 9-volt. Checking to see if the battery works electrocuted.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, and I was like, all right, fuck this. But so yeah, I didn't really do much this year.
I have a take for this as far as Christmas lights are concerned. Your house can have 2 options of lights that are hanging off of it. You can have icicles. Icicles are boss, right? Or you could have a string light of variety colors, but it can't have purple in it. Look, big box retailers, no one wants Christmas purple. Shit looks terrible and never looks bright. My house looks like I'm in Carnival and not in Christmas. Nothing wrong with Carnival. I hate that shit. I bought this like 10 years ago, and because of it, I hated it so much because the purple just casts like an ominous glow. If it was Halloween, that would be lovely.
Are you thinking like a single purple light or like a string of all purple lights?
No,
it's like the multicolor lights, but one of the colors is purple instead of just having like blue, red, green, yellow.
Yeah,
orange.
Purple. It looks terrible. There's nothing good about it. I'm an icicle guy. I think icicles kick ass. They create a
Yeah,
lot of
icicles
color,
do
a lot
kick
of
ass.
light.
I used to like the icicles, but I actually switched to the big bulb lights that
Love them.
the old school ones were all colored, but I got like white ones of those, and they have like a design on the lights. They look like they sparkle more. I like them.
The
Are you
big
guys a cold white or a warm white light?
warm white.
No,
Gotta be warm white.
we can tell by your house right now, Al.
He chooses peach. Peach white.
I'm a cold white fan. I think it looks a little more modern.
It does.
Yeah, it looks kind of. It just looks cold is like perfect. It looks like off, like I don't know,
Cold.
unwelcoming.
Yeah, it does. That's the goal.
Stay the fuck out of my house. No, put up some purple lights. See if anyone wants to come over.
I should literally walk out and show you how good Missy does she actually wraps lights and I don't know what that shit's called, tassel or whatever, but it's like a wreath that goes around the
Tinsel?
tinsel.
tree?
Sure. No, the pillars. In our, we have the pillars in our house because we knocked down all our walls.
The
She
garland.
literally wraps them around that. It makes it look like awesome.
Oh, that looks nice. I bet.
It
No,
does.
you know what?
It looks fucking amazing. Our house is actually really well decorated on the inside, and I do a shit job on the outside. I really should have started this with. I have a couple of wrapped palm trees on the outside, and those are hard to do. Shockingly, you see everybody do that in Florida, and it's hard to do. Like I see people hiring somebody to do them now. I'm like, God, fucking millennials.
How? My question is this: how does everyone have all this abundance?
Swear jar.
Of abundance of power. I plug 3 strings of lights in. So help me if I plug a 4th one in, that shit ends the circuit.
Should be popping. Yeah.
I live in an old house, so maybe that's the problem. Some old ass electric, but I see people with like 500 strings of lights. If I did that, my house would explode. My dishwasher would shoot out plates at my children.
Dude,
I know there are some of them who have like the people who get really into it, they'll like have a second separate circuit breaker installed in their house, and like the ones you see on TV and shit. Like they're going all in.
So all of my lights are plugged into one of those little. I take a light bulb out of the thing that's on the timer in the front, and I twist one of the little things in that doesn't have a ground, and then I put the thing in that has the ground into that, and then I shoot the Christmas lights all into that.
That's very safe.
All of my outside is in that one thing.
You're a lucky bastard, because every time I plug in I have an inflatable Santa that every time I turn him on 4 hours later, the whole front loses power, and it's very frustrating.
Oh, I got an inflatable Mickey. I got an inflatable Olaf. I got probably 8 or 9 strings of lights.
How many times y'all got to go out there and stand that bitch back up?
Every time it inflates.
Every hour.
It's been really.
The girls are always like, "Oh, Mickey's hurt. He's sleeping. We got to go pick him back up."
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Well, welcome to ChuggieBets. I'm Andy. That's Danny. That's Al. That's Matt. Let's chug a beer.
Cheers.
All right. So we'll have some more holiday content for you as the season continues to roll along. But for now, let's get to the important stuff. Some football.
Yeah, we never got to Frank Wycheck.
We'll save that for the NFL if you want. It may be a better
I thought we were going to talk about that with Christmas lights.
All right, PIP.
We talked about Frank Wycheck.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to shit on him.
He probably went to college, too.
Where do you think Frank Wycheck went to college? Let's play a game. Where do you think?
Middle Tennessee State.
Okay.
I was thinking somewhere in Tennessee, but that's only because he played for the Titans so long. I'm going to go Oklahoma State.
Ooh.
Okay. Andy.
Iowa State.
I have a second backup guess of Rutgers.
Oh, Rutgers is close. It's Maryland. He's a terrapin. Everybody drinks. Everyone's
Was
a terrapin.
Once a terrapin, always a terrapin. That's the way I think about it.
Chevy chased himself to death.
No. So here's the thing. You hear that men always live less, right? They don't live as long. Is it because we're always doing dumb shit, or is it because we always have to do things like put up Christmas lights and there's a chance you're going to die, right? To Danny's point, there's very little chance that Missy is going to get seriously hurt. I'm not going to say, knock on wood, arranging stuffed animals, as he said. Not my words. His words.
That would be a hell of a way to go.
There's a much greater risk. Much greater risk putting on Christmas lights. It's a dangerous game. Every time I do it, there's one step where I almost fall off the ladder, where I have to do like that dumb drunken stumble and hold on to the step
You're trying to like read. You don't want to move the ladder 18 times. You just want to move it 17 times, and so you reach a little too far, and you're like, oh shit. Yeah. But to tie this all together, Frank Wycheck died. He had a fall at his house in Christmas season, so we're all assuming he accidentally fell off a ladder hanging Christmas lights and died. But
it just makes the most sense.
You don't think he fell off like a balcony, like a faulty balcony, and he just like
I mean, if he lives in Tennessee still, I mean, I don't know if he did, but if he did, it's cold there. It could have been snowy, icy. He could have done the whole, feet out in front of you.
There's like really funny ring footage of this somewhere that like is no longer funny because it turned out he died.
It's like America's Funniest Videos, except people die, where everyone laughs until you're like, oh.
Yeah, well, it's funny. This guy got hit in the nuts, but like his testicles exploded and he bled out internally, and you're like, we got to cut that one from the footage.
Frank Wycheck,
no deaths allowed.
Frank Wycheck strikes me as he does the roof where the lights go up and down the roof guy, and that's probably what got him.
That guy is the alpha. He's trying to establish the alpha-ness in his neighborhood. Right?
Do you think he grabbed onto the gutter and like hung there for a second before the gutter gave out?
He Christmas vacationed himself.
Or did he got caught up in the string of lights, and the string was just like a foot too long instead of like a foot too short?
I don't know. I don't want to play.
This is too dark.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah. I was trying to come up with a forward pass joke from the Music City Miracle, but just remembering something good that he did.
He needed a miracle.
All right, so the regular season was pretty much over last time we chatted, but there was still the Army-Navy game. We did incredible in the Army-Navy game. Al, Danny, Matt, all on the under, going 1-0. I was on the under with them, as well as on Army -2, so 2-0 for me.
If only you guys weren't dumb enough to triple down the day of the game.
Yeah.
Those poor bastards.
One of the guys in our text message thread had the 27.5, and well, you did too. Yeah, I know, but
I couldn't just keep it in my pants. I had the 28.5, but I wanted more.
Yeah.
I wanted more Army-Navy action.
This is why people need to listen to ChuggieBets. Get their bets on Tuesday morning. Put your bet in, and then don't bet again on Saturday because.
What actually happened on Saturday? So I saw a thing that was like sharps were on the under in that game, but they were on it at like 30 and not at like not at 28 or lower. And I had bet the under, and I was like, I'm gonna bet Army too because I think that's the smarter play here. And so I pushed. I got 28, I think. So I pushed on the total and hit on the spread.
So I think it's important to note here. At game time, it was 28, but that day it was 27.5.
I got it in the morning. It was 27.5.
And Army was a 6.5 point favorite. Okay, going into the fourth quarter, Army was up 10-0. 10-0. That's like
everybody wins.
18 points in the fourth quarter of an Army-Navy game. You might as well put up 100 points. It's like saying like an infinity amount of points, like a fictional number amount of points. But everyone was coasting free. 4th and goal, Navy goes for it. They don't get it. Everyone's feeling great. And then Army, last play of the game, took an intentional safety, which gave Navy the spread. And for all of our friends who bet the 27.5, they lost on the hook. So I want to drink to that. I feel bad for you bastards because that was just bad luck. Army was the right side at 6.5. It still is the right side.
You could have just they could have just thrown the ball out of bounds. It's
Kent.
Just as good, right?
Yeah, that was a tough one, Ken.
Yeah, I had the same question, Al, right? Like, why not roll out to one side and throw it out of bounds? If you get called for intentional grounding, okay, you get the safety. Yeah. No harm, no foul. But I guess it's that they have different motivations.
The reason you don't do that because
the ball slips out of your hand and they catch it and
exactly. You don't throw it far enough and somebody intercepts it,
or the time doesn't run out and you turn it over on downs and they're on the one.
No, that's what you risk with taking the safety.
No, you take the safety.
When
You're
the play
punting it
call
no
is
matter
take
what.
the safety.
The play calls take the safety. You're punting it no matter what. They get the ball back, but it'll be far away. So if you're up by more than 2, punt it with like 3 seconds, and you take the safety. There's no way they're going to score on the punt return for a touchdown.
Yeah. Was it 4th down? Am I misunderstanding?
I think it was like first down.
No, it was 4th down. If it was first down, they would have just ran.
No, it was first down.
It was first down.
It was first down. They had just stopped Navy from going in to score.
Mhm.
It was like 4th and
literally the first play. There was 3 seconds left on the clock when they stopped Navy.
Oh, from going in to score, and it was the first play?
It was an awesome game.
I thought that they had taken a couple knees, and then they didn't have space for another knee.
No, they stopped them on like the 6-inch line.
You can see how close I was paying attention because I thought I was an easy win.
Andy, that was clearly like at least 8-9 inches, right?
6 inches is huge.
Yeah.
Like this long?
Yeah, that was like almost a foot probably.
So that game takes us to the end of the regular season. So we need to do our standings. We're going to do these by percentage. We'll go from third to first. He just left. I don't know why, but Danny is our official bronze medal winner, 51.88%. So well done, Danny. A little golf clap. Take a sip of my beer for you, bud. Next up is me. I hate tooting my own horn. No, I don't. I love it. 52.09%. Both Danny and I, that's hanging right around break even. So not great. We did a lot better last year, but our winner, our champion, the number one guy this year, Mr. Matt, 56.38%.
That's a solid season, bud.
That is an excellent season. Thank you for carrying us.
We slept on you, man. We slept on you.
Have anything you'd like to say?
No, it was just a good season. Had a good read. I started kind of going back to my strategy of only picking 11 games or somewhere around there. And at the end of the season, I got hot. Beginning, I started off shit. So
yeah.
I'm destined.
You were probably hitting like a 65% clip the last like month.
I didn't have a losing week since week 6.
Yeah,
dude, I got hot the last 4 weeks just to get above 500.
You caught it.
5-2, 5-3, 5-0, 1-0. That's a good way to end it. And then Matt, 8-4, 6-2, 5-1, 1-0.
So notes for next season: fewer picks in the first month, more bullshit.
That's a good idea. That really is a good strategy.
Except for Chris. Chris was the first 4 weeks of the season was 15-3.
Yeah, that's insane.
Well, he finished above 50%. That's good. That's good enough.
50.7. Yep. And as a group, we were 52.23, which again is like right at even. But you would have had a ton of fun. You would have made almost 1,000 bets, like 800 bets, and you would have broken even, which is incredible. There's no other hobby where you can have that much fun and consume that much time and not spend a ton of money. Right? You get into model planes or something. Nah,
shit's expensive.
Exactly. And then you listen to our NFL pod, and we make you all the money there.
The money you spent was to be able to watch all those stupid college games for all the different services you need to have.
Yeah,
there is some of that. That's true.
But there's no air like model plane glue that's destroying your brain cells. Just our
just the beer.
Yeah.
But Danny, I already have all the streaming services because my kids like. The episodes of Dinosaur Train that are on Amazon Prime are not the right episodes of Dinosaur Train. So then you got to go get a different service, and then like same thing with Paw Patrol. Yeah, I already have them all because
kids.
Dinosaur Train, sneaky good kids show. It's a show that I like. I enjoy that.
Would anyone like to sing the theme song with me right now?
Dinosaur Train.
Dinosaur Train.
It's a good show. Sorry, what were we doing?
Sounds catchy. We were saying that after almost 800 picks, we've really gotten good experience this season. We've got our eyes pinned to the prize. Yep. We know exactly what all the winners are going to be this bowl season, and now is the time to, take out a second mortgage, lay it all on our picks. Bowl season has arrived.
Yep. Before we get to the picks, a couple of things as far as just transfers and other things that have been going on. Did you guys see Riley Leonard is going to Notre Dame?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's some serious tampering going on. I know it's not tampering. Everyone's talking these players, but what Notre Dame's doing to the state of North Carolina seems heinous. They got Sam Hartman the year before from Wake Forest. Like the first day the portal opened, he's like, "Yeah, I already have my NIL deal. I'm set up. I'm going." And Riley Leonard is the first quarterback off the board. No, there's that guy from Texas Tech who's at Louisville now, but he was everyone knew he was going to Notre Dame like the day the portal opened. It's sketchy, but I think it'll be great there. I'm excited to watch him. I like what Notre Dame's been doing with these quarterbacks. I clearly like the ACC, and these quarterbacks are good ones they keep getting. So
yeah, I wonder if it was just like I need a good O line, and so he's like Notre Dame always has a good one.
Yeah,
let me go there.
Because we said the same thing last year, right? We're like, oh, Notre Dame, they were just a quarterback away. They got Sam Hartman, they'll be good. And like, I mean, they were fine, but
they're
like
9-3.
Aren't they 9-3? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but that's
Notre Dame plays a schedule, man.
No, I'm with Andy.
That's a disappointing season for Notre Dame. They want to be in that
We
playoff
thought Sam
talk.
Hartman was going to be like a Heisman, like not only contender but like favorite, and he was not notable.
Yeah, so Notre Dame kicked the shit out of most of the teams on their schedule. They lost by 8 at Clemson. Lost that Louisville game is still a head scratcher. That's the one that I can't figure out. And then the 10-man on the field, Ohio State.
Yeah.
I like the margins are super
schedule, man. Those were all three really good teams. Well, I guess Clemson wasn't really good, but
yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
I don't know if he'll be as good as Sam Hartman, but he's more fun.
You know, Andy, the reason you think Notre Dame has a bad season is the same reason FSU is not in the playoff. You're disrespecting the ACC.
You are, you son of a bitch.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
They're not in the ACC.
Clemson and Louisville are ACC teams that beat Notre Dame, but they're bad losses because they're ACC schools. That's the implication.
Yeah, that's true. Matt, do you want to talk a little bit about Cam Ward?
Yeah, so the transfer portal opened. A lot of kids are jumping in the portal and realizing that the money that they were expecting to get on the portal hasn't been as robust this year. I think everyone's kind of caballing together to kind of put caps on things. The one player, Walter Nolan, is one player from Texas A&M who's going to get just a ridiculous amount of money. But the one who's leading the charge right now is Cam Ward. He was a quarterback at Washington State last year, a bad Washington State team, mind you, someone who started out ranked. And I think they ended up with 5 wins. So keep that in mind. But he does look like a very high ceiling quarterback prospect as far as everything going on. And people are rushing with bags of money. I know his first visit was to Miami today. He's going to hit FSU, Auburn, a bunch of schools that have a very strong NIL collectives and who are willing to spend. Now, I don't know how much I would pay Cam Ward versus like a DJU in comparison, right? And would you say he's a half a win better, a 1 win better, and what that counts as money? But I don't know if you guys have seen this as Miami fans. They feel very confident in Cam Ward. I don't know if you have any opinions on that.
I don't.
No?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I think Cam Ward has promise. I think the way that Wazoo finished their season really kind of like sours it a little bit. I also just think Miami in general is going to find some way to fuck it up. Just in general,
if I were a quarterback, I wouldn't go to Miami.
If I was Cam Ward, I wouldn't go to Miami. Here's my thought. You've seen what Mario Cristobal
has to be bigger.
You see exactly. You see what Mario Cristobal did with like a Justin Herbert. Got him drafted, right? And at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. But he never looked that prominent or that like, wow, like undeniable. Will Howard was on campus for Miami this week, and that makes a lot of sense to me. The kid from Kansas State. He can run, and he does like all the little check down things, and he's really good at that. I feel like he would be a great fit. Now, Cam Ward has a much higher ceiling than Will Howard.
The thing I was going to say is Miami's niche feels like it's going to be giving the bag to the guy who is looking to bank in college and not anything, has no NFL potential. You know what I mean? Like, this is where this kid is making money, so he doesn't really care how Miami ends up doing. Obviously, they'll want to win, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But, like, the Cam Wards, the Caleb Williams and whatnot, those guys are going to say, oh, if I go to Miami, I might get a fat check, but I might be costing myself future earnings by having a shitty season, and I can get almost as much or the same amount at this other school that I'm better positioned for. So a lot of it comes down to how much money Miami's willing to spend and who's willing to take more money for a shittier position.
I mean, when your current quarterback's leaving to go to Wisconsin, it's not really looking good.
Not a good spot.
They think Wisconsin's a better spot to be a quarterback than Miami.
You know what's tricky? If he thought ACC defenses were tough to read, welcome to the Big Ten West, bud. Good luck. Good luck on you, buddy. You better have the greatest. I mean, Wisconsin always does have a good line, but it doesn't get any easier.
It's going to be big games that he'll be in. That's
Mario taught him how to hand the ball off really well, though. So he's going to.
That's all he's got to do at Wisconsin.
But
I mean, they tried to change it this year, but it didn't go that
well. We were talking before about how money is affecting this and recruiting and how you get the right guy to land there. And I want to know, I've got an important question. Do the hoes be getting NIL deals?
Can you go deeper on this?
So
who are the hoes in that sentence?
Okay, so everyone before NIL, it was always you'd go to Tennessee and some pretty girls would come and touch your pee-pee, and then you'd sign on the dotted line and you're committed to Tennessee.
Allegedly.
This is
it wasn't allegedly in Miami. I think it was pretty clear that
I guess I shouldn't have said Tennessee specifically. Any school, any Division I school, probably D2, D3. Who can say? They just probably aren't. Well, I don't want to say that. But there's a collective, an underground of the hoes that be playing with the peepees. And so I want to know if these ladies are getting in on all this cash that's being passed around, because they're doing they're providing an important
only
service
at UNLV and Nevada.
I think
I would say
I think we'd be seeing a lot more important people showing up in Vegas if that was the case, Andy.
I think that the cash is actually coming away from them and to the players. I think that kind of thing is happening less now that players are getting paid. That would be my expectation.
Yeah, you can get your PP touched on your own if you have money. I would assume. I don't get my PP touched or have money, but
and I do think there may be sponsors.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
To not have money?
No, I mean
that the hoes aren't getting paid.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel bad for them hoes. I guess
yeah, I don't know. Is it good that that's not necessary?
Fuck them hoes.
Go strip or something.
This is going a bad direction. I do believe there are like tour sponsors, like people who help show people around the campus, and I think they have a position and they get paid for that. Now I don't know about the PP incentives, like if they get a PP bonus. Now, I would assume those same people. I don't think they're actual prostitutes paid by the college, but I do think that's kind of their job is to be pretty and show people around.
Yeah.
Breaking news on ChuggieBets: schools paying prostitutes.
I'm trying to think of a PP loan joke.
Well,
all right. Anybody have anything else on the
I was just curious.
I've got nothing.
You wanted the PPP loan joke, and those fucked America, and you were talking about PPs fucking. So yeah, something like that. I don't know. That was good.
Back to the main point. Would you pay if you had $1.5 million in NIL collective? Would you pay for just Cam Ward, or would you want like a Will Howard and a lineman? Right? Like that's what it comes down to. And like if you're in the Cam Ward sweepstakes, this is 1 year. I think you really have to think you can win 12 games. Right? Like if not, I don't think the investment's worthwhile. Like even if Florida State were to get Cam Ward, I don't think it's worthwhile because I think we're going to win 8 games next year. We're losing a ton of talent. Realistically, we need to find a way to win 8 games. We're not going to win 12 games. This year we won 12 or 13 games. It ain't happening next year. So like, is it worthwhile to pay for that money or get a lineman that you can develop a little bit more? Like it's a big question. All these collectives have to take into like account. Like it's Ohio State,
a bunch of really half-assed salary caps.
There's no cap. No cap.
I know, but I mean, there is a cap at each school. They have a limited amount of funds. What that, and like, so it's like, okay, where's my roster stand? Where are the holes and how much money can I spend?
Where are the holes at?
Yeah.
They got budgets.
The holes be getting
not
paid.
caps. What they have is budgets,
money
and
to holes,
it
Yeah.
depends on how their
What's
giving
the difference?
structure works and things like that. But I don't know what these NIL budgets are right now, and it's not
Honestly,
really all
I
that
think a
public,
really
so.
great fundraising opportunity for these schools would be, hey, look at these great quarterbacks out there. Do you want us to buy one? Send us a check.
Go fund me.
And then, yeah, well, no, like for real, like that would encourage student.
That's what the
body, I think,
NIL
to donate.
collective is, Al.
As a member who pays an NIL,
Yeah, the
$50
NIL
every month,
collective is like 10 billionaires. Like it's not.
No.
There is that, but it's also students and alum
So,
and throwing in $10
yeah,
a month.
so
There.
for schools that are larger than Miami that don't have like 5 people graduating per year, what they do is they get their 20,000 diplomas that they give out every single year,
Yeah.
and then multiply that times the 50 years of people still being alive, and ask all of them for $10. And then now they have their budget.
For an example, I contribute to an NIL collective every month. Now, I am giving the minimum amount because your boy is that much, and that's going to get smaller and smaller. So there's a lot of it. But look, it is 80-20. I bet you 80% of that money comes from 20% of the people, and I'm just filling out the rest. Right? Like I'm sure there's people that are giving $1 million, $500,000.
So I think it's a bad idea to ask people for money based on the promise of getting better players.
I like watching college
it's
football.
happening.
I like my team kicking ass. I love being 13-0. That shit is sweet.
Yeah.
I wish I got in a playoff, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Wait a year.
All right. So, gentlemen, I don't know if you heard this, but the University of Colorado has hired a new professor. His name is Professor Prime. Deion Sanders will be teaching a class at Colorado this upcoming semester. Matt, do you have the name of that class?
Yeah, it is Prime Time, Public Performance and Leadership.
Okay.
I don't know.
This is the same Deion Sanders, the same
This-
Professor Prime.
Professor Prime.
Okay. Not
He's
two
been
different
teaching
people at the
kids
same
for
time.
years, but now he's giving diplomas.
Prime time.
No, this is actually Optimus Prime.
Oh. I don't know what this class could be about. What are we learning on the syllabus? Because I understand.
Listen,
I mean, he knows a lot about public performance for sure.
I know he's got 3 toes, but he doesn't have a leg to stand on.
Hey. So it is part of the communication program I read, and he is a great communicator, like unequivocally. Like he's awesome at talking and getting people to buy in. Like persuasion and PR and all that stuff, he does tremendously well. I just hope there's there's a math element or like some random ass element. He's like, here's taxonomy.
Yeah.
Class.
I guess my thought is just like, why? Like, support it, think it's worthwhile, and kids will learn valuable things in that class. More valuable than like some other bullshit classes that people take as blow-offs anyway. So perfectly legitimate, but like, why?
It's a good question, Al. And I've been trying to figure out why all day. I don't understand why it exists.
Is it like a way to get him more money? Is it just like he wants to spend time doing this? He feels like he owes it to the school? What?
It's a way to get his name back in the news, right? Like there were more eyes on Colorado this year from August through
Andy,
November
you sound like someone who's been taking
in...
Coach Prime's class.
I don't need it. I don't need Coach Prime's class. But right, I mean, nobody's going to talk about Colorado for the next 6 months.
I feel like this is prime time to talk about. Oh God, I'm sorry I used that. I feel like this is big season to talk about Colorado because he prides himself on being like a guy who's good at recruiting and portal and all this stuff. Look, and it may be a negative spin on it because his recruiting class had kind of fallen apart a little bit going in.
For sure had.
And I think he'll be okay. I think he'll get all the transfers he wants. I think he's going to realize it's really hard to get linemen in the transfer portal when you don't have a giant bag. But I don't understand the larger purpose of it, right? Like, is he giving back to the Colorado community? Is that like his thought of the University of Colorado a little bit? And I'm sure the class is going to be waiting listed like crazy.
Oh, for sure.
Why wouldn't he do it?
Sure.
Because he doesn't need to. It's a time commitment.
He doesn't need to coach football either. He's rich. He's not out here doing things.
Yeah, but the reason why he's coaching football is because his son plays there and he wants to coach his son.
No, his reason why he's coaching. No, the reason why he's coaching football is because his son is good enough to get him a job coaching football.
Yeah. So we just said the same thing. There's different spins
No,
on
you
it,
said
but
that he's a good dad wanting to be with his son, which he is. I got all right. We said this.
He is. I don't know what you're going to learn. Like, yes, he's a great communicator. He's mastered the art of being able to climb the ladder in a situation. No, like he's always been a big personality, but he's like kind of honed it for his maximum success. So there may be value in like finding that confidence in yourself, believing in yourself. But that sounds like more like self-help than it does a class.
Like it might be as simple as like the school president was like, "Hey, do you want to teach a class on like being you this semester?" And he was like, "Sure." But like, you know,
Michael
I don't
Jordan
know.
teaching a class.
You know,
like,
he's
okay,
like
sure.
he's like
Like
kind of
The
a
Rock
preacher too,
just
right?
like teaching a class on like, you know, PR
He's more of a
at
mentor.
Miami.
than-
But like, okay, but like, why now? Why here? Why?
Like
I think I already answered this. I don't know why we're still talking about it.
Danny, he's kind of a mentor. I give you the idea of being a teacher. He does
Mm-hmm.
teach football, but I wouldn't think of him as like an academic teacher.
No, I said preacher.
Preacher. Oh yeah, I'll give you that for sure.
Yeah, and this is
So
like his
that's happened.
congregation. He has a congregation that now has to show up to get a grade.
Yeah.
I mean, he brings eyeballs. Like at the end of the day, if you're in, communications or marketing or
Like in a
anything
bag?
like that, like
Sorry.
it's pretty gross.
Let's just rip this. Let's
right.
just burn the podcast. Shut it down. Just like rip it all up.
Let's peek out. It's not gonna get any better / worse, depending on how you look at it. All right.
Ooh.
You guys want to get some picks and get out of here?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right. So bowl games officially start this Saturday, December 16th at 11 a.m. I plan to still be on the golf course at 11 a.m., so maybe I have this on my phone. It is the Myrtle Beach Bowl, Georgia Southern playing Ohio, and we almost have a Cyclone. Matt doesn't have the stones for
I
it.
don't.
But, Al or Danny, you want to tell the people what we're on?
Ohio +4. I did it because you did it.
Yeah,
All right.
I did it because I liked Ohio, and then you guys said the quarterback's out, and then I said, but the Lions moved 6 points, and I was like, I don't think that's like a fair swing. So let's take Ohio and points.
Yeah, their quarterback is Curtis Rourke. Is that right, Matt?
Yeah,
And he's really good.
he is good.
But for a bowl game, you get like 31 days of practice or something. I mean, I guess this is the first bowl game, so it's going to be a little different. Maybe 3 weeks of practice. Like, whoever plays quarterback for them is going to have gotten a ton of first
Also,
team reps.
it may
It's
be
not the
Curtis
same as-
Rourke. I think
There is a
I think
chance.
he can still play even though he's in the transfer portal.
And look, him being in the portal, it's like Grayson McCall last year. Grayson McCall was in the portal, came back, right? So it's not like he's exclusively gone, but I do think he's going to end up at BYU or Indiana or somewhere else, but doesn't mean he's not playing. Look,
No.
I think Ohio should win the game if Curtis Rourke is playing. I don't know what to do with Curtis Rourke not playing.
All right, so that's 3 of us on Ohio +4 to start off bowl season at 11 a.m. at Myrtle Beach.
Number 2, I think this is the second best city to be in this first week if you're a college student. Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach?
Yeah, it's a pretty good. It's not a bad town to be a college student. It's a little trashy. It's fun. I like it.
A little?
Yeah.
It's a little trashy.
It's good for golf.
All right. So, Matt, is this next one the best city to be in?
Definitely. It's the worst city to be the coach. You're in New Orleans for the New Orleans Bowl. But if you're a player, you're living it up. Probably bet the under in this game because I'm sure there's going to be a couple people hungover going into it. But, yeah, you got the New Orleans Bowl, Jacksonville State, Louisiana.
So
Al, what are you doing?
yeah, well, so Louisville is in what? Not Baton Rouge. They're in like some middle of nowhere, right? They're not close to New Orleans.
LSU
You mean Louisiana?
or Louisiana?
Louisiana.
They are in. They're not in New Orleans.
Yeah. So, because my
That's-
thought was like, oh well, they're from Louisiana. Maybe they'll be like immune to this like New Orleans draw. Like they've been there, done that. But like, no, I think these people are like, oh, I've never been to New Orleans. Let's go do it up. And then the people coming from Texas or whatever, who are they playing? Jacksonville State. That's what, Alabama. I don't know.
Yeah, which is not very
Yeah,
far.
may or may not care. But yeah, I think Jacksonville State's been playing good football. I don't know what the spread, what I have it at, 2.5 or something. Jacksonville, I'm laying the points.
Lafayette is
what I'm doing.
halfway from New Orleans to Beaumont,
Yeah.
Texas.
Lafayette, Louisiana, like there ain't nothing going on in that city, guarantee you. So I think they're going to be the people that are showing up hungover. Jacksonville State, whatever that spread is, that's what I'm playing.
It looks like you got it at -3 in the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I'm fighting you on this. I'm taking the Raging Cajuns +3. It's not exactly a home game, but it's more of a home game for them. They'll have a lot of fans in the crowd. And I just think they're actually the better team, and they're getting points. I'm also on the under for the reason that Matt said, but also this number is just too high. It was 59.5 when I bet it this morning. That number is way too high for these two teams. Taking the under all day.
Yep, I agree.
Great.
It's
All right.
there's a 60 out there now. It's either mostly still 59.5 though.
All right, I'll leave it. I don't want to cheapen it.
It looks like it's juiced. But
Gotcha. All right, and then that same Saturday
we'll see
afternoon,
if
we've
the
got
juice was worth the squeeze.
we've got the Cure Bowl. I don't know where the Cure Bowl. Where's the Cure Bowl?
Orlando.
Ah, all right.
What are you getting?
Miami,
What are you
Ohio,
curing in
App
Orlando?
meat.
Line cutting.
Meat.
Oh,
Line cutting. Oh man, those people are the fucking worst. Line cutters.
Excessive income.
So I'll go first here. I'm on the over 44. I think these teams can both score. And then Danny, Matt, and myself are all taking the points with Miami of Ohio. I'll let one of you guys explain why that's the right side, and then Al, you can explain your wrong side after.
Miami of Ohio was good this year. 11-2. One of their losses was to a Miami team that started the season really strong. If we recall, I mean, we were bad ending the season after that Georgia Tech game, but the offense looked really good for like 4 games, and then it just dropped off. I think it was partly Tyler Van Dyke's injury and partly just a change in philosophy. But yeah, so and that was one of their 2 losses on the year, 11-2 or something like that. So I just think they're really good. I know App State also had a pretty good season, but if you're getting 6.5 with 2 teams that are really good, that's a lot of points to get.
yep.
App State also has way more people either transferring out or opting out of the bowl game, for what it's worth.
Yeah, and look, you're going to give me points as the MAC champion? I have the champion of the MAC here against App State, who is a team in more name value than it is substance this year. Oh, I'm going to take 6.5
Right.
all
You can
day.
win.
They're probably going to go fuck around and win this game. So take the 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
How long is App State going to dine out on that 1 win over Michigan? Like
Forever.
It's been a decade, 2 decades, and like that's still the biggest thing anybody knows about App State, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair though, it's App State. Like, what else are you guys supposed to know?
It's in Boone, North Carolina.
Yeah,
They're famous for their music conservatory.
Didn't
It's a
Eric
great
Church-
area. Asheville's
didn't Eric
also-
Church go there?
No, the heavier dude.
Luke.
Luke
Yeah.
Combs.
Yeah, that one. Sorry, I didn't know how to.
Eric Church went to like North Carolina or something.
So
All right, Al. Go ahead.
yeah, you guys are stupid.
That's
Listen,
Danny's line.
Listen, you say
Eric Church went to App State also. Boom, I was right.
Good job, buddy.
why wouldn't you take the 11-2 team plus 6.5 in a bowl game? I'll tell you why. Because why would the 8-5 team be favored by 6.5 points? It stinks. App State's good still. I don't know who's in or out on the transfer portal or who's pulling out for whatever reason, but I do know that App State can run the ball well. It doesn't matter who's toting it. It's a team that hit their stride in the second half of the season. They had a lot of close losses early in the season, but they finished strong. They did get blown out by Troy, I think in their last game
Yes,
actually, but that leaves a bad taste in their mouth, and they're going to be out for blood. And it's fucking Miami of Ohio, guys. You make it sound like it's Bama. Come on.
No, I didn't make it sound like it was Bama.
And it's important to know it's Troy's new head coach is at Tulane. He got paid. So obviously they have a good coach there. Miami, Ohio has been good for like 3 or 4 years. This is like not a new thing, is my idea here. But I get it. I get what you're saying now. Fourth best city, by the way. Fourth best city.
The Miami. All right. Then at 5:45, we got the New Mexico Bowl. New Mexico State, Fresno State. Once again, Al is fighting the family here. Al, I will let you go first this time. Why are you on the wrong side?
Yeah, I like the New Mexico schools. They're fun. And New Mexico State's the one with Jerry Kill at it, right?
Yeah, hell yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It
is.
He's a good coach.
Recently tatted.
Yeah,
Jerry Kill.
he's got weeks to game plan here. I'll tell you what, Fresno State has been dog shit this year. They got a pig farmer at quarterback. So I'll lay the 4 with New Mexico State at home, essentially.
I think that's Utah. Too.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Lots of pig farmers and quarterbacks.
It is Utah. There's probably I don't know, man. I don't know what goes on in Fresno. They might have pig farmers and quarterback there too.
It's a weird place. Bobby is awesome for New Mexico State. Jerry Kill's awesome. We love him here. Fresno's better. Plus 3.5. Fresno's gonna fuck around and probably win this game. Take the points.
Danny, any thoughts?
Well, wait. If you're doing 3.5, then I'm doing 3.5.
I got
that, but
4 on Fresno.
I gave myself a waste of time.
Yeah.
I don't really like that it's a home game for New Mexico State, but still, I think Fresno's better.
I'm on Fresno +4 as well. I like Jerry Kill.
You guys are just tailing Andy. This isn't fun.
All right. And then Saturday night, the LA Bowl, which I believe is Los Angeles and not Louisiana.
It is in Los Angeles.
It's Los Alamos.
It's UCLA, Boise State. I don't have a play on this one. Al and Danny are on the same side here. Who wants to go first?
Yeah, I'll tackle it. So, Boise State, they fired Andy Avalos a month ago, and
new defensive coordinator at TCU.
Yeah, and so their interim coach, I think they named him as the head coach going forward. I think they played a lot better with him at the helm. And this is a team that has talent and can produce. They're also a team that can lay an egg. So it's a bit of a gamble from that perspective. But also, I don't think UCLA gives a shit about this game. This is a game that those dudes are going to be sleepwalking during.
Yeah, I went with Boise because UCLA has some of their most impactful players not playing. I know I can't ever pronounce. Is it Latu, the edge rusher who's going to be top 5 pick is going to the draft. I'm pretty sure their quarterback's transferring. And Boise State, nobody leaves Boise. They're all staying. There's no reason to go anywhere. You're not getting NIL money.
Their new coach is named Spencer Danielson. Doesn't that sound like a good coach?
That sounds like a guy who fits into LA pretty good.
No, the Boise State coach?
Yeah.
Spencer Danielson.
Spencer Danielson. I think he was in the OC, right?
He was.
In the LA Bowl, being a home game for UCLA, I don't think matters that much because, does UCLA even really have a home field advantage?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope, they don't.
And if I lived in Boise, I'd be looking for any excuse to go to Los Angeles in the middle of
December. Yeah. It's going to be packed with Boise fans for sure.
All right. Our next game, sort of our nightcap for Saturday evening, is the Independence Bowl at 9:15. Cal is taking on Texas Tech. We don't have any picks here, which is a shame.
What's the total on this one?
Want to talk about this game a little bit?
What's the total? It's
I
58. Jesus Christ. Why is
that
this
feels
so
like
high?
an under. Justin Wilcox has been a magician.
Yeah, I'll put it down.
Cal.
Under 58. So we have a play on the game. Under 58. Lock of the week.
I'll bet in every game.
Justin Wilcox has been handed dog shit at Cal the whole time, and he always gets him bowl eligible. He's fucking magician. As far as a coach, he needs to get the hell out of Berkeley. I'm not going to bet against him in this situation. I would probably lean towards Cal, and Cal's bad. So,
Anybody else? All right, and then on Monday night, Monday afternoon.
Hell yeah,
This
we're
really
back,
right.
baby. Your work week is fucked now.
Oh, hell yeah.
2:30 p.m. The famous Toastery Bowl.
Hell yeah.
I wish we hadn't binged this prior to the podcast so we could all go around and guess what the famous Toastery is. But we all now know that it is.
If you have to claim yourself as famous, you're not famous, right? Like I don't even know what a toastery still is.
What do you mean, Matt? You've heard of the famous Idaho potato.
Actually, I think the Idaho potato is far more famous than the toastery.
Famous Amos?
I like famous.
So maybe it's locally
Toastery?
famous. It is a North Carolina breakfast/brunch spot. So try that out if you're ever in North Carolina.
What's the meal that's on the top of their menu, like their bestseller?
The very first thing on their menu is their flight of mimosas. Actually.
Oh
yeah. I'm interested.
Okay. Fancy. I like that.
Excuse me.
Is there a thing called Famous Toastery or just Toastery?
Famous Toastery.
No, it's a famous toastery.
Yeah, but I mean, we're making fun of it, but it did what they wanted it to do. No one here had ever heard of Famous Toastery, and we're now actively speaking about it on a podcast with ones of listeners.
Here's my thought, though. Is Famous Toastery like well distributed? Because if it's just in Charlotte, what's the point of the bowl game? Like, why would you title it? Like, everyone in Charlotte already knows you're the Famous Toastery. Are you trying to build out franchises, maybe?
It did have some information about franchising on their website, yes.
I'm going to start my own Famous Toastery very soon. Coming to a town near
Famous Perkins Bowl.
I wonder if they'll have like a spread on the sideline, throw it down to Jenny Taft or
they should have a piece of French toast like shooting coupons out of a cannon.
The winner gets the Bloody Mary gallon poured on their head.
But it's got to be edible French toast.
Yeah,
actual piece of soggy bread for 4 hours in the sun. That'll be great. Milk.
So the famous.
Does anybody go to the Famous Toastery and order a sandwich and they ask if you want your bread toasted and they say, no, thank you?
Do you think they have a special toaster or just like regular toaster?
Maybe the toaster's famous, not the place.
The website right now is very keyed in on this bowl game. I'd be interested to go back to the website in like January when it's more focused on the food. And I wonder if they have like a brick oven.
Andy, go ahead and add that to your calendar. Is that a reminder for March?
Already done.
March 30th.
when they're out of business.
End of Q1. Let's see what they got going on.
My anniversary is in January, and we are going to take a trip. And I'm now making it to North Carolina to go to the Famous Toastery Bowl. Don't tell Amy that's why.
Charlotte's lovely.
It is.
So it's just a Denny's with booze, though, right?
I think so.
Well, Denny's serves beer, I think,
and
probably.
Hell yeah.
Maybe.
I'm sorry. So it's just
maybe a little
Denny's,
cleaner.
right?
Wait, Denny's sells beer?
Does Denny's only serve beer because that's the most baller shit. If it's like, you want mimosas? Nah. They just pour like a Bud Light with an orange juice in it. Because that's the most. That's
a bottle of
mosa?
Miller Lite and orange juice.
I will down a beer mosa.
Oh, dude, I've drinking beer mimosas. I love them without
I might actually go
same way I drink my mimosas.
Just beer.
no orange juice. Yeah,
just
an eyedropper.
Yeah,
one single drop.
It's like water.
Then it's okay to drink at 9 a.m.
the juice at the beer.
Andy, it's always okay to drink at 9 a.m. if you're mowing your lawn.
Andy, also, the reason you want to go to Famous Toastery Bowl is because you want to go there and order the Famous Toastery Bowl, which is like hash brown potatoes with eggs and stuff on it, and be like, haha, Famous Toastery Bowl. That's really
that is one of my famous breakfasts, like a skillet when they got all the ingredients.
Man,
anyway, we are going.
I'm happy to sidetrack it though, because we can talk about breakfast potatoes because they are so wildly divergent. I hate it. Sometimes they are so good, and sometimes they're complete ass, and I hate that there's no telling. That's it.
Dude, you can order hash browns and you can get 19 different things.
That's what I'm saying.
I think that's fun. I think that's the fun
Yeah, it's
part.
like rolling the dice.
It's the whimsy.
You guys don't like gambling?
Scrambled
Not
eggs
with
are
my
always scrambled
breakfast
eggs.
potatoes.
Yeah. Well, not when I can get like cheese grits instead, or like a biscuit.
Grits are like sandy oatmeal.
Dude.
Get out of here.
Grits
grits,
and biscuits.
Sandy
Get outta
oatmeal.
here
I
with
went to
that
middle
shit.
school with her.
Grits and biscuits. You can get out of here with that shit.
I'm gonna leave.
Bacon and eggs. Give me
My work here is done.
Give me some rye
You didn't
toast
do
or some
anything,
whole wheat
didn't
toast
I?
on the side. I don't need
Didn't
your
I?
grits and biscuits.
All right, let's go.
We are playing into the hands of Big Toastery, guys.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this for way too long.
Hey, if
They got their money's worth.
we need a sponsor.
Just-
Come on.
Yeah,
I
that's true.
would love to be the
True.
famous Toastery ChuggieBets podcast.
Dude,
Somebody clip this and send it to Famous Toastery.
I will absolutely chug a flight of the mini mimosas on air if they
Ooh.
sponsor us.
Absolutely.
And that ultimate
We'll all
Mary,
fly
man,
up there.
with the shrimp in it. Oh, that looks good.
Not a big Bloody Mary guy.
Oh my god,
you
I
don't
love Bloody
drink really
Marys.
enough, Andy. You're
Bloody
not
Mary
drinking
bar,
really enough in the morning.
little fresh jalapeno, little pickled okra,
They
celery skewer,
do promote the alcohol a lot, which is great.
some bacon.
On
Yeah,
their
That's my
website right
favorite
now.
part about brunch.
The Cold
Sounds
War.
like they should call it famous toasty.
Toastery.
Oh, is that
Oh, maybe
is that
that's
the
what
pun?
toastery
Is that the
means.
pun? The toastery?
Honestly, I hope that
Oh.
isn't. I hope you unlock the code there, because now I'm in for it. Now I love the famous Toastery.
Yeah.
All right,
All
Eastern
right, there is a
Kentucky.
football game.
Take Western Kentucky with the points. They're going to win this game. Honestly, you could round robin some of these picks. Western Kentucky's a great one. I think they're going to go out and win this game.
Hold on. There's just one thing we
So
should say
I've-
about this game. Western Kentucky, 5 of their cornerbacks have entered the portal, but Old Dominion, 5 of their wide receivers have entered the
Oh
portal.
boy!
So, you know,
Spring practice is
So
here.
it's gonna be
guys.
like me and Danny covering each other on that side of the ball.
palpable force, immovable object. What's gonna happen?
Maybe lots of old school formations, breaking out the
Ooh.
pistol, the wing tee.
The wishbone.
It's a
Yeah,
big
lots of
West
running.
game, a Big Ten West game.
I am on Western Kentucky +3 also. And I 100% agree with Matt. I actually have a little round robin here. I'm gonna give out at the end. There are 4 of these dogs that I like really a lot to win outright. So
Well, it seems like a shitty week to be on the other side of all your picks.
I'm wrong as much as I'm right. You guys have 10 minutes on the Frisco Bowl in you, like we did 10 minutes on Famous
What's the
Toastery.
Frisco Bowl? Is it just San Francisco?
The Frisco melt. Did y'all ever had a Frisco melt?
Love
Was that Hardee's?
I'm-
Frisco Melt.
Big fan of a Frisco.
I think of it as Steak and Shake.
Oh,
Hardee's
man.
is
I
Yeah,
definitely
same.
think of it as Steak and Shake. Yeah.
Is it a brand thing or is it just like a melt that's like a mushroom? Is it mushrooms and Swiss and burger?
Thousand
or-
Island dressing, I think. is
Yeah.
the key to it.
Yeah, and I think usually onions.
It's like it's like a Reuben
mushrooms.
without the good parts.
Patty
Just a-
melt's
it's
kick
just a
ass.
patty melt. That
Patty
they
melt's
say-
kick
they
ass
throw
in
this
general.
Frisco on there to get you to order it.
They like skipped either whatever it is, sauerkraut or coleslaw that they put on a Rachel
So
or a
it's-
Reuben.
yeah,
it's
it's
like
a-
that. It's like without that,
It's got the Thousand Island.
and they don't use rye bread like nerds.
They
Like
should use
regular
rye
old
bread.
bread.
They using
They use
usually
sourdough.
round bread. Yeah, or sour. Yeah.
They use sourdough for the San Francisco part, I think, normally.
So it
I
is
like
San
sourdough.
Francisco, the Frisco Bowl.
think
No,
Not
it's-
like
no.
Frisco,
The
Texas?
Frisco Bowl is different than the Frisco Melt. The Frisco Melt is supposed to be
Oh,
San
it's Frisco, Texas, buddy. It's
Frisco,
different.
Texas, a suburb outside of Dallas.
Honestly, I think a Frisco melt in Frisco, Texas is better than a Frisco melt in San Francisco.
I mean, if you mean by outside of Dallas, like it's outside of
Yeah.
Dallas.
It's not inside.
Like
of Dallas.
we are currently outside of Dallas.
Yeah. We're outside
I mean,
of
it's
Dallas.
close. It's closer to that. I mean, it's part of the Dallas Fort Worth like massive
Metroplex.
What do you?
Bermuda
no,
Triangle.
It's not called a metroplex. It's like a megalopolis or something. What do they call those?
Yeah, no, you nailed it. It's a megalopolis.
It is
All
only
right.
a 30-minute drive. A lot closer than I
Oh,
thought.
that's like next door
That's
neighbors
probably
in
without
Texas, I
traffic,
feel
though.
like.
That's right now
If-
via the Dallas North Tollway South.
if you miss the cattle herding.
Take us
because
step by step. How do you
they
get from
still herd
Dallas,
cattle through
AT&T
downtown
Stadium in Dallas to wherever they're playing the goddamn Frisco Bowl? Let's do it step by step. How many steps is it?
All right, now I got to move it along a little bit.
Select the mass transit option. Let's take some buses. To,
Okay, so if I take
Is it
mass
more or
transit,
less than
no
13
route
steps?
found. Sorry.
Okay.
you can't get there from here.
It's a 10-hour walk.
All right.
It's right down the street.
Perfect.
Yeah. We're taking Marshall plus 13. It's too many points.
Yes.
Marshall's not good, but UTSA isn't 13 points better.
Agreed. I was looking around trying to get a 14, couldn't find it. That's all right. 13 will do. I love it.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of points. This line opened at 7, and I loved UTSA. I just didn't bet it. And 13 is too many points.
Yeah. Yep. That's right.
So the round robin that I have put together, and feel free to tell me what you would add or take out, but I have Ohio, Louisiana, Fresno, and Western Kentucky, all on the money line to obviously to win. And that's the round robin. I put it by 2s, 3s, and 4s. So
I like it. I like that.
You said Ohio, Louisiana, Fresno, and Western Kentucky, all the close dogs.
Yeah,
I think you could eyeball Miami of Ohio here. I think they're a team with a lot of pride and a lot of effort. I think they're going to show up well, but it's a bigger spread. And App being a 6.5 point favorite makes things a little bit harder. Better juice, but
so the 4 that I gave out, my numbers actually say that those teams, even though they're dogs at the book, should be favored. Miami of Ohio, I showed that the 7 is too big, but I don't actually show that they should be favored. I show that they should be up by like 3 points. So, but
Yeah,
my numbers went 52%.
Why not
year,
do
so
4 money lines on a spread in a round robin?
Yeah, that's true.
Because for
Gonna
me,
get
I
spicy.
always like having 5 legs in a round robin. I feel like a 4-leg round robin, like one bet kills it.
Mhm.
Like hitting 3 out of 4, you do okay. You
Depends on
usually
if you
come out
have
ahead.
dogs. Depends on if you have dogs and how big they are. But
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, okay, so take Miami, Ohio money line. There you go. Problem solved.
yeah.
Oh.
You guys got to
bigger
check
the
it out.
dog.
All right.
Honestly, the bigger the dog, the better round robins work. If you're taking bigger dogs, it works better. Because you don't have to win as many as your
if
bet.
3 or 4 of them win, then that's really good. But I think typically you end up with 1 or 2, and then you're like, this didn't win anything.
Depending on the
So my
size of your
thinking that-
dogs, you can have a money line round robin where you only need to hit 2 out of 4 to win, to be above the money.
Yeah,
then-
that makes more sense to do 4 legs then.
These are not big dogs like that, though. The biggest one is like 160.
Yeah, if you're all in the hundreds, then you're gonna need. If you only hit 2, you're probably gonna be about even or just less.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually it's like 3 is your break even, more or less.
3, you'll be definitely making good money on a 4-teamer. On a 5-teamer, if you're all in the
Right, on a
hundreds,
5-teamer, I mean, yeah.
yeah, 3 is like you make a little bit of money. If you have 2, you lose.
Yeah.
All right. My chuggy bet's gonna be Fresno plus 4. That's my favorite bet of the week. Matt, you have one pick?
Yeah,
down?
I'm going Western Kentucky plus 3. I do think they're legitimately better than Old Dominion in this situation.
Andy, how come you're not on Boise, you dick?
I don't know. My numbers didn't like it.
I'll do Miami plus 6.5.
It's a good one.
Anytime I can bet
My
on Miami
numbers-
and my team isn't gonna screw it up by taking a knee, makes me happy.
Hell yeah.
My numbers say that the right number is Boise State plus 3.59. So not seeing any value at 3.5.
Okay.
Sorry, bud.
What's my chuggy bet gonna be? I like Jacksonville State, I like App State, I like Boise State. I think Boise
We
State's
know that's
getting
why you give the picks.
Boise State's getting points, so I'll take them. Boise State will be my chuggy bet.
Sure.
I expected you to go with Ohio there. I don't know why.
Do you think Sunshine's
All right.
disappointed in us?
For not doing Georgia Southern.
Yeah, for all fading Georgia Southern.
Yeah, I was thinking about that when Matt didn't make it a Cyclone on Ohio. I was like, well, Chris would have definitely gone Georgia Southern to fuck with it. Fuck with it.
Yeah.
I don't know that he was like keyed in on all the Georgia
was.
teams, but he bet against them sometimes too. It's not that he always bet on them; it's that he knew which way to go.
Yeah,
it was
that's
really
good.
impressive.
Georgia Southern lost their last 4 bowl games too.
Yeah,
so.
he did. He did actually. I think he faded them successfully later in the season.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so we'll be back with at least 1, if not 2 more pods on the rest of the bowl games because there are a bunch, but not knocks out the first weekend and the first couple of weekday games. Thanks for hanging out with us. We will get an NFL pod up this week, unlike last week. So keep an eye out for that. Make sure you like, subscribe, tell your favorite smunt. And good night, Kent.
Good night, Bobby Joe. Good night, Bailey Sue. Good night, Steve.
Good night, Danny.
Good night, Matt. Good night, Danny.